Okay, we're going to have a look at fractions of fractions, and this is going to be really helpful for the pizza portions activity, but also just generally finding a fraction of a fraction is a really important part of fractions, and also division and multiplication. Division, because whenever we work with fractions, we're doing division, okay? So here's a fraction, and it's 1/2, or 1 divided by 2. And this line here, the divided by symbol, is the same symbol that we see when we work on division, okay? And it's multiplication because we're finding a fraction of a fraction. It's like finding a half of a half. And this symbol means of. So when we say 5 times 5 is 25, what we're saying really is 5 groups of 20, a 5 is 25. And this is the same thing, half of a half. So this symbol does mean multiply, and that's a way of saying of. Okay, 5 of 5, so 5 groups of 5, and half of a half. Okay, so we're going to have a look at one of the ones which is in the pizza portions, which is the two kids. They've got a third of their pizza left, okay, and they want to split it up between the two of them the next day. So if I draw my pizza, that's not a great looking pizza, but that's okay. And I've got 3 different bits, okay, and this bit was eaten, and this bit was eaten, which means this is the bit I've got left. And I've given it a little tick there to show that this is the bit I've got left. So I've got a third left. And my friend and I, we're going to share it between the two of us. So what I'm really looking at is cutting it in half. Now you might already be able to see that I'm going to cut it in half that way. And that means that if each of the thirds were cut in half, there would be 6 pieces altogether, because there's 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And that's going to give me 6 pieces altogether. So to do it in a multiplication way, 1/3 of a half, you could also do half of 1/3. And we know that 5 times 3 is 15, and 3 times 5 is 15. So the order, when we're doing multiplication, doesn't matter. So I'm going to focus on this one down here, a half of a third. Okay, so when I'm multiplying fractions, you might think, oh my goodness, what am I going to do here? Multiplying fractions is all really difficult. It's actually a really simple process. So I've got my numerators, the numbers on the top, and I'm going to multiply them together. So 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay, and then the denominators, 2 times 2 is 6. So when we saw that picture before with the thirds, and then I cut one of them in half, we knew that this was a 6th. In the same way, there's 2 in each one, and that's given us our answer. Now you might be thinking, will it always work? And it will. What if I had 2/3 of the pizza left? So I want a half of 2/3. And it's good. This is a good time to highlight that this number down the bottom, the denominator, has no value. It's just telling me what I've got, what I'm talking about. It's like saying 1 banana plus 2 bananas. Times 2 bananas. It's just telling me what I've got. So 1 banana times 2 bananas, 1/2 times 2/3, or 1/2 of 2/3. Well, what's a half of 2? A half of 2 is 1. So the answer is going to be 1/3. But let's go through the multiplication just to be sure. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. And that's 2/6. Now, they're both even numbers, so I can cut them in half. I can simplify this fraction by saying that that is 1, because I'm cutting it in half, and I'm cutting the bottom number in half. And there's that old saying, anything you do to the top, you've got to do to the bottom. Or anything you do to the bottom, you've got to do to the top. So half of 2 is 1, half of 6 is 3, so 1/3. So half of 2/3 is 1/3. In the same way, half of 2 of anything is 1 of that particular thing. So good luck with your fraction portions. And a great skills to have, because multiplying fractions, while it sounds challenging, it's actually a pretty straightforward process. The great thing about these videos is you can pause it, you can go back, you can take notes, you can watch it again, you can do whatever, okay? And if there's if any other questions you've got or any videos you want me to show you, just put it in the stream and or let me know somehow if you're not in my class, just email it and I will endeavour to make that happen for you. Good luck.